The Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game has always valued rare cards above the rest. From Blue Eyes to Dark Magician, Shonen Jump to YCS prize cards, collectors and duelists alike enjoy owning Yu-Gi-Oh's rarest items. But one category of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards has risen above the rest: error cards. These are cards that were not as originally intended, such as the legendary misprint Rainbow Dragon Ghost Rare and the infamous Jinzo Jar. These cards are sought above the rest, but sometimes the allure of a misprint can cause some misunderstandings and false hope among the community. Some cards are thought to be errors, but simply are not. Today I will discuss these commonly misunderstood cards and revisit one question: are they really misprints? What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 misunderstood misprints. A lot of people think that specific cards or a group of cards are errors or misprints when really they're just not. So I'm going to talk about what these groups are, but before we get started, the giveaway. I'll be giving away these 3 cards. These are Portuguese first edition LOB. All you have to do is like this video, be subscribed, and let me know if I missed anything about misunderstood misprints or anything else cool relating to misprints or anything you have to add on to this video. So let's hop into the top 5. The first category of misprints or errors are cards with a defect on them, such as a dot or a line. I've been asked multiple times, is my card a misprint? What would you consider this? Would you consider this a misprint? And I get a picture of like a dot on the card or maybe a print line or something like that. It's just something that could be on multiple cards and it's not in a specific spot. It's not consistent. It's just a random, looks like almost damage or a defect. These cards are not misprints. Defects are more like damage than value-adding errors. So a value-adding error is what people are mostly looking for with misprints. They want the error to be like super cool so someone will pay more for it. So when they see something that's different, they think, maybe is this a misprint? Is my dot or my line on my card a misprint? Usually it is not. Sometimes there are cards that it's consistent where there's the same exact dot. I know this mostly from Pokemon. There are like the red dot, I think it's Blastoise. There's a red dot on a Blastoise multiple different times. There's the Wartortle that has the Wartortle in the evolution box, and it's consistent, so it happens more than once. Now for things like where there's an actual different Pokemon or a Yu-Gi-Oh card like in the card, no matter what, it could just happen once and it would still be worth something. But if there's like a line and it happens once, it's not worth anything. But if there's a line that happens multiple times, then it could be considered an error that somebody might be interested in. The second error set is not exactly an error set, but it is something that a lot of people misunderstand, and that is the counterfeit UDE stamped Flame Wingman, Aqua Neos, and then there I think is Water Dragon, Super Rare, Dreadmaster, Ultra Rare. The Flame Wingman is the most common of them. The Aqua Neos comes up a lot as well, but the Flame Wingman is such a valuable card, people are trying to sell that card a lot. Most people don't realize that when you buy a silver stamped Ultimate Rare Flame Wingman first edition, that is a counterfeit card. They have nice quality because they were printed by Yu-Gi-Oh's original printing company, Upper Deck, before they got into some issues with Konami and they got rid of them, but they printed those cards anyway. It's a long story. If you want to look it up, you can actually find legal disputes between them. It's pretty interesting. They even talk about how many Flame Wingmans were printed, stuff like that. But these cards are they're really nice because they were printed by Upper Deck, but they were not approved. So while they're not actually fake, they're not like the fakes that you would expect. They are counterfeit, so they're not actually supposed to be Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So these cards should not be sold at the same price as a regular Flame Wingman, Aqua Neos Ultimate Rare, but oftentimes they are because people don't realize it. This is something that everyone should be aware of when they're buying Flame Wingman and Aqua Neos Ultimate Rares, because those cards can get expensive, and if you don't realize what's going on with your cards, you're going to end up overspending on a card that's really only worth $5 to $10. The third set of error cards are just simply fake cards. I can't tell you guys how many DMs I've gotten recently that have said, hey, I have these cards. First of all, how much are they worth? Second of all, are they error cards? Usually they start off with, what are they worth? And if they start off with that, I can tell them right away they're not real. But some people will tell me, well, this card has a different set number, or this card is a different rarity. Is it an error? And the answer is no. If you find a Gemini L from Labyrinth of Nightmare and it's a super rare, that card is not real. If you find a Karibo from Metal Raiders and it's a secret rare, it's not real. If you find a Legend of Blue Eyes 005 instead of 001, that's not real, because Konami didn't ever make errors like that. There aren't any Yu-Gi-Oh cards that have the wrong number or the wrong rarity. If you look it up online and it's a different number or a different rarity for that set, then you have a fake card. This next one is absolutely huge. A lot of people do not realize this. I realized this recently when I saw a Delinquent Duo spell/magic selling for like $100. I realized that people believe that magic ruler card that says spell on it but also has the MRL prefix and the set code is an error. This is not the case. Every single magic card from magic ruler in 2003 tins, if you pulled any magic card or spell card, whatever you want to say, then it will say spell at the top and it will have MRL in the set code. It will come out of magic ruler pack. That happens with every single pack. You could argue, well, it's a consistent error, something like that. That I can agree with because it happens every time. You could say it's an error. I don't know for a fact that it was on purpose or not, but I do know that it happens every time. So buying something like that for a lot more is a little bit questionable unless you're just putting together a 2003 tin set. Then I could understand you want to finish off your set, something like that. But it is not a major error. Every single 2003 tin has these cards. So that is one that I think a lot of people don't know. One of the main reasons I made the video was to announce this and let all you guys know. Finally, we have one of the most infamous discussions, the error first edition spell ruler. Is first edition spell ruler an error? The answer is no. It is not an error. First edition spell ruler was a limited release European box. So European in general had a much lower print run than North America. So in general, their print run is lower. I think all of the other E sets have super low print runs as well, but nobody ever calls them an error. The main reason I think we lean toward error with Spell Ruler First Edition is because it is the changed Spell Ruler name with First Edition added on. They had Magic Ruler First Edition and they had Unlimited First Edition, and then they made it Spell Ruler. So you think, well, they were already Magic Ruler Unlimited, so why would they have First Edition Spell Ruler? That doesn't make any sense. It has to be an error. No, it's just because European releases are later than North American releases. So they came out a little bit later. They had printed a First Edition Spell Ruler, not many boxes at all, so you don't see them very often. They are very rare. There's also a Pot of Greed and Flame Swordsman and many other cards from Legend of Blue Eyes in this Spell Ruler First Edition box because the European set LOB did not have a couple of the cards. It was like 20 of the cards actually, and they moved them over to Spell Ruler, so you can get Flame Swordsman. I think as a common in Spell Ruler First Edition. You can also get the Pot of Greed in there as well. That's another thing that makes it seem like, okay, there's some sort of error. They put the wrong cards in there. They put First Edition on Spell. It doesn't make sense. It is commonly misconstrued, but they're not errors. They're just a limited release European set. That rounds out the top 5 misunderstood misprints. Let me know if there are any I missed. I'm sure there's some really good ones that I missed because there's just all kinds of things that people want their card to be an error or a misprint and it's just not. So go ahead and make sure to let me know in the comments if I missed any or some good ones you've heard. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this top 5 video, and that's it for today. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Elemental Hero, Dark Bright. Boom!